Welcome to the last topic in the series, OBIEE for End Users. In this session, we will teach you how to use Oracle Data Visualizations, or Visual Analyzer, to explore your data and reports from Oracle BI with greater flexibility and imagination. The reports we will be creating in this training are based on the MeasureIT Analytics data model for Oracle eBusiness Suite, and this is the same model we used in our prior training sessions for creating reports and dashboards in Oracle BI. Notice how with Oracle BI, you can leverage the exact same data model, typically built by IT, for all of your reporting needs, including reports, dashboards, Smart View, and now Visual Analyzer. So everyone in your company gets the same answer, no matter what they were doing and how they're consuming data, in this case from Oracle eBusiness Suite. As we start part 6 of this series, it's important to note that the primary audience for the data visualizations product would be a typical reporting analyst, someone who currently would leverage point solutions like ClickView or Tableau, or likely Excel, to do their fancy reporting up to management. Now with Oracle Data Visualizations, we can have those resources leverage the same data model as everyone else in the company. That data model in this case is MeasureIT Analytics for Oracle eBusiness Suite. So let's get started and show you how to create DV reporting and how to explore your data in new and fancy ways. Before we get started creating our first Visual Analyzer project, let's go over what it's called, as the name keeps changing and it's hard to keep up with, so I might call it one of 3 different things throughout this training class. So what is it called? Officially on the screen when we click and get started, it's under Data Exploration and Discovery. Historically, it's been called Oracle Data Visualizations, and currently I think it's primarily called Visual Analyzer. DV and VA are the acronyms for those two. So good luck keeping track with that. To get started with your first project, navigate to the upper left-hand corner of the screen in the Create section and click on Visual Analyzer Project. The same as with any Oracle BI type of report, the first thing to do is select the subject area in which you want to create the report against. Here we will again choose EBS R12 Accounts Payable, and then choose Add to Project. As always, when creating a report, let's begin with the end in mind. So the ending goal of this report is to analyze what payment terms our company is granting to suppliers, and we're going to measure this by both the dollar magnitude and by counting the number of payments made. As a best practice, let's begin our report by selecting something and adding a filter. So let's take a time dimension of year, add it to the prompted section at the top of the screen here, and then filter it to a specific year. To do this, expand the time folder and then drag and drop the year value into the filter area of the report. Then we'll select the year of 2008 for this filter. Next, let's add a filter for the operating unit. Here we're going to look at multiple companies at the same time, so let's select all of the operating units that begin with the word Vision. Now that we have a reasonable filter, so we don't look at data since the beginning of time, let's go and start adding some columns into our report. To add columns to your report, simply expand the folder where the field is, and then drag and drop them into the big area in the middle of the screen. Start with dragging the quarter field into the report. Next, let's add the term name from the AP Invoice header area. What I'd like you to notice as we start adding columns to this report is the Visual Analyzer product is creating whatever it deems as the best practice report based on the types of columns and fields you're putting in the report. Since we don't have a measure yet, i.e. a count or a dollar amount, it doesn't really know what to do, so keep a close eye when we add our first measure, which we will add next. Let's add the payment amount from the AP Payment Measures folder. Visual Analyzer has chosen the pivot format for now. The main areas of a pivot table format, just like in Excel, are the columns, rows, and measures area, highlighted here. I don't exactly like the format of this report so far. I would rather have the time dimension going across the top and the term names going down the side on the left in the rows area. To make this change, just drag the quarter field from the row section and swap it with the term name in the column section on the left-hand side of the screen. That looks a lot better. Now that we have some basic data in a pivot table format, let's use the right-click menu to add a new visualization with charts and graphs. To do this, right-click anywhere in the white space on your output and choose the Copy Visualization object. Right-click again and choose Paste. Now let's change the top version into a chart of some sort. To do that, click on the top report, and then in the left-hand side where it says Pivot, click on the drop-down arrow and choose the type of chart you would like. Let's go with a tree map. So there we have a tree map. Let's move it around a little bit so we can see how it trends by quarter. To do this, move the quarter field from the color section to the category section, swapping it out with the term name. The tree map is a pretty powerful chart to see what's going on with your data. Notice how the Q1 boxes are bigger than all of the other quarters, because if you look in your pivot table below, the dollar values are bigger in Q1 than all of the other quarters. In the detailed report on the bottom half of the screen, if you'd like to see some more attributes, for example supplier, just drag and drop them into the report. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to click on the bottom half of the screen in the pivot table format to highlight it, and then we will go to the supplier folder and grab the supplier name. That's looking good so far. Next I want to add one more chart, which will be another tree map, but instead of doing it by amount, let's add a tree map and count the number of payments per quarter. Start by using the right-click menu and copy and paste the visualization again. Navigate to the AP Payment Measures folder and find the Payment Count measure. Once we click on the left chart to highlight it, drag and drop the Payment Count measure right on top of the amount measure that is already in the report. Dragging it right above the amount measure will swap it out and trade places instead of adding a second measure to the report. And with a few clicks, you can see we have a nice little metric of payment counts and payment amounts by time, and if you want to see the detail by supplier, it's also in the report. Pretty cool. This demonstration is a very small subset of what the Oracle Data Visualization tool can do, but you can see it's a very powerful tool, so good luck in using this in the future. Thanks again for joining us for part 6 in the series OBIEE for end users. This is the last training in the series, so hopefully you have a good idea of the Oracle BI tools and all of their capabilities, as well as an idea of what MeasureIT analytics can bring if you happen to be an Oracle eBusiness Suite customer and you need to do reporting on Oracle EBS and want the proper tool and the best tool on the market, which is Oracle BI.